Okay, this is Jorn's resonances, and start with why we're doing this interview. Is we've seen a physical play out that's currently busy manifesting in your and Marlene's agreement. That is at the moment still unconscious, but it's manifesting in your physical movement, interestingly enough, with each other. The physical movement that's interplaying between the two of you is that you're still allowing yourself to stand back in a form of a reserved retreat, and Marlene is tiptoeing around that application of you. In other words, she'll be kind of moving around you physically very fast in a form of anxiety, because she doesn't yet know how to place your current manifestation of yourself within yourself. Meaning she doesn't yet know how to direct it within her world, because she hasn't particularly faced such a point before. And she doesn't even yet consciously aware of it, this whole play out, but it's physically happening within both of your movements. So for example, let's say Marlene would be here, your approach in terms of how you're standing is still like this, kind of backwards, reserved retreat. It's not yet a full equal and one acceptance and embracing of yourself with her. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So we have to look at where, because in why and how this manifests inside you in terms of how it's looking physically, is that you are underlyingly here. If here's your body, your legs, arms, underlyingly here you're participating with her. Meaning in terms of certain points, the platform that we've discussed in the previous agreement, I mean, that's pretty cool that you guys have. You know, that platform is there. But now that platform is still a structured system that both of you are living in terms of your equal and one support within your agreement. Meaning when a point's come up, you'll discuss it, you'll look at it, you'll open it up. That support point is established quite well in the platform. But now we're looking at physical equal and one participation. Where in living this point, your experience of yourself and with her will be much more surprisingly, unexpectedly fun. Wherein you'll have moments of spontaneity that you hadn't experienced before. So underlyingly you're still participating with her from the perspective I've explained now. Yet here within your mind there's another reality within which you're still accepting and allowing yourself to participate. It's influencing your agreement that's here in the physical. So where and what is currently preoccupying you within your mind that is not coming to a point of solution in terms of stopping, that's currently possessing you, more than your participation within your agreement with Marlene?
Yeah.
What's been happening?
Well, it's interesting because we discussed the point about my finger being hurt, and I traced back basically what was going on within my thinking process. And I traced it back to where I am, for example, busy with the SRA videos at the moment, which is a lot of processing. And there was a point where something wasn't like working as I expected, so something unexpected happened, stuff deleted, I had to do it again.
Okay.
And I created like a victimized state. I said like, okay, what's happening to me? I created like this resistance or this energy at that moment. And what happened in there is I get basically preoccupied with like a charge of, okay, something is against me, so to speak. And that gets then is then preoccupying me basically in everything I do, whether it's dishwashing or anything basically.
Okay, so you're still allowing points to control you in which you feel you have no control over.
Yeah, exactly. I played a victim, which I saw that I played that out when I traced it back, and that created a point where I would get it done because I was working with a resistance, which eventually led to like a physical interruption of, okay.
And to that you reacted quite extensively.
Right, well, initially I wasn't like concerned about it, but I realized like, okay, this is really a point where it's like really a stop, like a break point of pattern that I'm playing out. So I realized like, okay, I'm having this idea in my head, or an energy created idea, something that I'm resisting, and that plays out. And that was very clear for me.
Okay, so if you have a look at that point that triggered the reaction that you experienced that took you into a point of possession within your mind.
Yeah.
What this is showing from your total beingness perspective is that you still want to be in control of your reality at all times.
Yeah.
And if there's a point where you're not in control of it, you'll go into reaction, to almost like a possessive reaction inside yourself.
Yeah.
Wherein you'll fight with that point.
Yeah.
Through fighting, control it so that you can, through being able to control it, manifest it into your reality of control, wherein I've got control of it. It's almost like a free horse that's running and you're roping it to control it.
Yeah.
That form of approach you're taking with points that you feel that you don't have control over.
Yeah.
Now we've got to look at, like the free horse example, you have to look at freedom of expression and living.
Yeah, for example,
this you haven't allowed yourself to actually do. That's
No.
why your physical participation with Madeleine is not complete, unconditional. You're still within your mind observing it as an agreement, but not participating within it. So your status within the agreement is still as observer, because you've got the agreement in application as a system inside your mind, meaning your approach towards the agreement is still systematic. The assistance and support application, because it's an application that's systematic. You're not actually living as a participant within the agreement. That's why you'll tend to, for example, go into your mind more, because your reality is currently existing as an observer. Remember, the mind reality is as observer. Therefore, you'll not be in and with and as your physical body here in the physical, participating equal in one.
Right.
See, Marlene at the moment, in terms of her expression, she's physical. She's here.
Yeah.
She's applied that point of discipline of actually stopping the thoughts, meaning not moving from observer to participant.
Yeah.
Whereas you're still at the moment in constant observer status because of the point of control.
Right.
You still want to be in control of everything and everyone in your reality.
Yeah, well, this is like one point where this turns out, like specifically that I can see in this event and this consequence that plays out. So I see that, and then I realize like, hey, this is a pattern that I'm playing out.
But let's have a look at the pattern so you can identify it in terms of actually practically working with it for yourself, meaning to move out of observer into physical reality as participant.
Yeah.
Remember, I'm using Marlene as an example because at the moment, in terms of your reality, you can't yet see what physical participation is because you've never experienced it before. Why we're doing this interview is we've seen a physical play out that's currently busy manifesting in your and Marlene's agreement. that is at the moment still unconscious, but it's manifesting Okay, this is Jorn's resonances, and start with your physical movement, interestingly enough, with each other. The physical movement that's interplaying between the two of you is that you're still allowing yourself to stand back in a form of a reserved retreat, and Marlene is tiptoeing around that application of you. In other words, she'll be kind of moving around you physically very fast in a form of anxiety, because she doesn't yet know how to place your current manifestation of yourself within yourself, meaning she doesn't yet know how to direct it within her world, because she hasn't particularly faced such a point before, and she doesn't even yet consciously aware of it, this whole play out, but it's physically happening within both of your movements. So for example, let's say Marlene would be here, your approach